Alright, welcome everybody to what I'm going to be calling an intermission. Now, if you've seen these before, these are kind of our pathless traveled videos where we test out a new system. We're kind of doing that here. We're going to play a little bit of Starfinder. Now, this is going to be Starfinder 2nd Edition. It is still in playtest. And those of you familiar with it might be aware that Starfinder isn't that different from Pathfinder. It's not much of a stretch. It's not much of a path less traveled. Well, that is because we have another path less traveled lined up for Call of Cthulhu. And I am still reading up on the rules, refreshing myself with the rules. I played once, it's been a while, and I need a chance to look through them again. So we're going to do a short little, maybe like 2-session thing here. We're going to start off tonight with making some characters. Now, you should know me. If you found me, my name is Jake, BB, Big Brother, whatever you want to call me. The rest of you, I hope you know who I am if you're here watching this. I am joined by 4 players. And I'm just going to go ahead and introduce them here. I've already got their character sheets set up in alphabetical order. So, and actually I've also got them set up in chronological order of how long I've known them. So at the top, we have my good old buddy, Ben.
Hello.
Ben and I used to work together, and I dragged him into the world of RPGs and Magic the Gathering. I doomed him.
Yep, and League of Legends.
Yes, I got out of that before you did, though.
Yep.
I am so sorry for you, Ben.
Yeah, you are allowed to leave at any point.
Yeah, but also I kind of don't want to sometimes.
Man's
we are
addicted.
legally obligated to say that you don't have to stay there.
Yeah, but I want to stay. He said, "Fuck."
We're gonna have to take an intervention.
Man is addicted.
So you've heard some of the others already. Next up is Blue. Blue,
Hi.
You might know, he helps make my D&D monsters. I haven't had much work to give him this month, but we'll be back next month. And he's already started building his character.
No, I talked about the character yesterday, and then
Look
everybody was cool with it.
He's got max HP and current HP already done. He's got everything already trained and expert and stuff. Already started building the character.
I got my skills chosen, but like we'll talk about those ones, I think.
So,
I have 0 skill feats, 0 class feats, 0 general feats. All right. It's mainly because I couldn't choose them.
Start about everything. I'm gonna start anyway. Next up, we've got a regular on the Monster Mashes, Decaf.
Hello.
And of course, we also have another regular from the Monster Mashes, Shy.
Damn. Oh, well, hello there. No, I'm not shy.
So, we're going to start off here by building some Starfinder 2nd Edition characters. Now, I gave you guys
I feel like I didn't get any roundup.
Listen, we're burning daylight.
Nah.
I'm gonna sort of jump in here because we gotta build characters, and hey, if we get characters all built and ready to go, we might jump into a little bit of starting this session. Starting this sort of like little adventure, mini adventure I've got planned. I've got put together for us. Now, before we jump into building characters, I did talk with you guys a little bit about what I was looking for. The concept is that your 4 characters are part of a rapid response unit. Now, this rapid response unit might be privatized, it might be a police force, it might even be military. But you 4 are charged with, when shit goes south, you jump into action and you are some of the first on the scene. So there is some sort of like some paramilitary stuff going on there. And I asked you to sort of think of characters in that regard. The other thing that I'm going to need you guys to do, and this is a good reason, as this is a good reasoning behind having a session 0 sort of here, a character making session, is I want you guys to have a good range of skills. Now, there's some skills that are going to be more important than others, and I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to want somebody with piloting.
Ooh. Oh, well, I maybe already be expert in that because I've pre-built my character.
Which you, yeah, I know you might not have a hero point next time we
Hey,
we jump in here.
fucking listen. I'm sorry that I came prepared. Fuck me, I guess.
This session was about
We
making
weren't
characters.
supposed to be prepared.
Listen, I'm making my character. I'm
I
just
fly by the
slightly
speed of my
prepared.
pants. That's what I do well.
Why does your pants have a seat?
That's the best part.
Because they're not chaps.
Shut the. Honestly, I should
Correct.
just get up and get my laundry at this point for that. Because I know I got to switch that load over.
Anywho,
Now you're invested. You're stuck here.
this does still follow, the classic Pathfinder ABCs. But I did ask you guys to sort of bring together some ideas, so I'd like to bring those ideas out, have you guys talk about them, and see what the party needs, see what you guys are looking for. So
Everything that I have built, I am
Since-
willing to change.
he already has his character sort of together. Blue, what concept are you looking to build towards?
I want to be a sniper because snipers are cool. And I have an operative in mind for that, because an operative is a class to anyone watching who doesn't know. And the operative is kind of the quick gunner, close quarters combat individual, but also can be built in a multitude of ways. And one of them is a sniper. And I feel like if we are some form of first responding task force, there's always generally the one guy who can hit from very far away. And I'd like that to be me. But if anyone else wants to do it as well, I am willing to fold. I do have a strong muscle person in mind, but
It would be so funny if somebody did do that to force Blue to rebuild right here, right now on the street.
that'd be fucked up, I'll say.
BB, how bad do you want this? No. I
Listen,
can
you
make
do
one
that.
on the spot.
I'll build a barbarian. I swear to God.
I would like us to
Starfinder,
try.
Starfinder.
I would like us to
I
try
know,
to
I
stick to Starfinder because I do want to sort of exhibit this system with this tiny little foray into it.
I also know because of Foundry, I don't want anything with a higher magazine than 1 because the system doesn't really work that well in Pathfinder
we're gonna have
or in
to
Foundry yet.
Gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we're looking at a sort of long-range combatant, high damage, maybe not a lot of quick damage.
Yeah. I looked up some rulings on this, and then someone was just like, "Oh yeah, no, you could technically start the game with 2d12, 2d6, and a +1." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds interesting."
Yeah. All right.
Fuck.
Does anybody else have a concept in mind?
I was thinking of possibly doing a fucking tank.
A tank.
That doesn't-
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't really focus on damage, as tanks tend to not. Just do a lot of area suppression.
Okay. So if you're talking
Literally a thing in
area
this game for
suppression,
Yeah.
there is a class just for that called the soldier. Have you looked into
Mhm.
it that much?
Yes, I did look
Yeah,
into it.
Okay. Okay. So you're thinking soldier, big beefy soldier
Hell yeah.
tank character. I dig it. Love it. Shire decaf.
Love me a soldier too.
Do either of you have anything in mind yet?
Well, I like to think that operatives have to be stealthy, and nobody should be stealthier than a shadow mystic, since that's their primary skill for the sake of their vitality pool.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Shadow Mystic. Okay, cool. So we got a caster. So we've got a soldier, an operative, and a mystic as a caster. that gives us a good range of stuff, because Mystics, I mean, they get a lot of healing from their Vitality pool, which kind of frees up their spell slots for other stuff, if they choose to go that way. So, with that all being the case, Shy, have you had any ideas about what you want to be bringing to this table?
Class-wise, no. But I was also kind of just thinking I'll wing it as I go because I do that well. But
Okay.
I have a couple personalities in mind that will just depend on what I do end up on.
Well,
Whoa.
those will be fun to explore as we get into it. Okay, so you know what? I think that gives a good starting point here. Let's go through our ABCs. Let's start off with Ancestry.
I
So,
want to be a robot. I'm gonna be an android.
so before you
Robots
guys
are cool.
looking at the Starfinder ancestries available to you, there's some crazy ones. But yeah, Blue is looking at an android.
Yes, because androids are fucking cool, and they're like, I love the Starfinder androids compared to how they looked in first edition, at least with their cover art for the android, because they originally just looked like, oh, that's a human with lines across them like Cyberpunk, and I find that design dumb. But
Yeah,
the androids in this are like
they're a little
actual
bit more,
robots cool.
a little bit more machine, a little bit more mechanical in their appearance.
Yes. And I want that, so that's who I am. Big robot.
Okay. Medium robot.
Fair. But I'm even with my character, I'm like a rail thin robot. But they're also cool because they're emotionally unaware. So any kind of interactions with my character, it'll be like, "Oh, you're a little dumb, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." At least when it comes to talking.
Cool. And you went for the Mod Fanatic Heritage.
Yeah, I love having the mods, the augmentations, because that's what Mod Fanatic does. I start with an armor upgrade that does not count towards my upgrade slots, or my armor upgrade slots, I should say. And I also went Cyberborn because I'm a robot, so it makes sense. And that gives me the augmented body feat, which also allows me to have an additional augmentation as part of my robot self. So I'm just full of full of augs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have an ancestry they're looking at?
Yeah, I was also looking at that.
Yes.
Cool.
You be the big robot, I'll be the little one.
All right, yeah, you want to do Android? I'm down for it.
Yeah, like I was really interested in that. Like, oh, seems like it also makes sense because I'm a big robot.
Yes.
It would take
No,
a lot of hits.
Yes.
We're going to be teaching Ben a little bit how to play here in Foundry because he's not familiar with it. So Ben, on your character sheet, you see a little magnifying glass in the box beneath Ancestry?
Yeah.
Go ahead and click that.
Yep.
And it'll bring up all the Ancestry options. You're just going to find the one that says Android parentheses Starfinder.
Starfinder. Okay.
And I believe you drag and drop that into your Ancestry box there.
Oh, click and drag. Or, okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Also, if you push the check mark.
Yep. All right. So, any heritages in mind?
Let's open this book back up. I forgot already.
One of the heritages is like, hey, you could choose from the heritage of this heritage, and it's like, oh, this is slightly confusing.
Yep. Yeah, because you can choose the heritages presented in Pathfinder.
Really?
That's why it's called the Ancient
Sure.
Android. I'm an idiot.
Ah.
So you could be a renewed android. The first time in a day that you lose a dying condition, you don't gain a wounded condition to match. You become a trained in a skill of your choice that has a recall knowledge action, and you gain the dubious knowledge skill feat. You could be a networked android. You can attempt computer checks to hack systems and 3V checks to disable a device or pick a lock on technological devices at a range of 30 feet. You could be
Renewed Android actually would make more sense, I think.
okay. Yeah, you could definitely go that way. There's the mod fanatic, like Blue has, to gain another mod. There's Artificial Scion, which makes you trained in computers and gives you the Freaker skill. Or there is the aforementioned Ancient Android, which you can use to become an artisan, a laborer, a polyglot, or a warrior.
If you're going to be playing a soldier, the warrior doesn't really give you much.
Yeah.
Mm.
Unfortunately, does not really add
Yeah, I
anything.
think the renewed Android fits with what I'm trying to do here.
Cool.
Labor living with
So go ahead and add that.
Android. Select a skill.
Yes, because you have to. Because like it says, it's you become trained in a skill of your choice that has the recall knowledge action. You gain the dubious knowledge skill feat.
Society.
Society. Hey, I think that is a fantastic choice for this. Alright, before we get to your background, let's talk to Shy and Decaf. Do you guys have an ancestry in mind? Either one of you, please, I beg you. Fill the silence.
I was gonna say I can go next. Well, I've been kind of looking at it, and I'll actually mention that since we've got, I'll go back a little bit because I understand mine was very fluid. I think I might be looking at Envoy.
Ooh, for your class. Envoy's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yeah. Now I could, and part of me is still debating it, go Skittermander and rebuild a very specific Skittermander that I played very recently.
It is an option.
Of whom was ungodly delightful. However, I think with the idea that I have in mind, I'm gonna go with a good old favorite of mine, and I think Patra
Cat people.
will be where I go. Yeah.
I would have given you any amount of money had you said Android as well.
How much are we talking?
Well, you already messed up. It's done.
Well,
it's over.
Yeah, I didn't know it was on the table, to be fair.
All right.
I can't tell
so
you about it because otherwise you'll take the money.
You're going Patra. And what
Yeah.
heritages does that open up to you?
Well, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and select it real fast.
Yep.
Let's see here. Where there you are. All right, let's see here.
So there's the Hunter Stalkers, the Cravash.
Yeah, this is going to be easier if I just use it on my path builder because I've actually got a module installed for it.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Mayal's Choisin. Pouncer,
I actually
Rhymarker, Sandroamer.
created one and then found someone else that had done the whole thing for Starfinder, and I was like, well, this is just better.
Wow.
So, all right, let's see here. So heritages, yeah, Hunter Stalker, Cravash, which I'm sure I butchered. Miles Chosen.
Ooh, it gives you a biotech augment.
Pouncer, Rhymewalker, and Sandroamer.
I will tell you, you're not going to have to worry about environmental effects.
Duly noted. Okay. Knowing what I think I'm going for, that what the hell? I read a thing. I was not prepared.
Oh.
I think with what I'm going for and how I'm going to build this out, I'm thinking I might go Pouncer.
Okay. So when I was actually just looking at it, makes you a little bit faster, and you don't have to stride before the long jump.
Mm-hmm. And
nice.
on top of that, because I found it funny, I feel like I have to bring this up. You have lean and long legs that let you run exceptionally fast, and a large tail that acts as a rudder to maintain your balance during sharp turns.
Perfect.
Like
no-
no.
Why it's a rudder, I don't know.
Large fluffy tail. That's kind of how like certain like big cats use their tails.
Really?
Mhm.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. That's it. Cats use them to help, direct where they're gonna go.
Yep. Especially when they're moving at high speeds.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Cats are cool.
Yeah. All right. That leaves our dear Decaf. What
Hello,
are
it
you
is
thinking
I.
for a mystic?
As always, a human.
Human. Nice and easy.
Good day to you.
Gotta have the standard human.
No, gotta.
It's
We're in space.
It's the
Are humans
audience
still the-
surrogate.
Ugh. You guys should relate to something better.
And what heritage are you thinking for your human? I know we got a few new ones in Starfinder.
Say, unfortunately, none of them give me access to dark vision to match my need for
Shadow.
the shadows.
Mm-hmm. You might have to get
So-
some augmented eyes for that or something.
If that is what is necessary, then that is what
versatile.
I'll have to do.
You can, because I believe if you take the human augmented, there is a level 1 dark vision augment. It might be level 2. I might be wrong.
Yeah. So let's see, you got Aslanti, Galarian Survivor, Scavenger, Skilled, Urbanite, or Versatile.
I think I would just have to default to skilled then.
Okay. That'll give you a nice little skill boost to on an automatic one at 5th level.
Hell yeah.
Now, speaking of skills, let's talk. I'd like you guys to start looking at backgrounds. Blue already told us a little bit about his. He went for the Cyberborn background here.
So there's a reason why I went the Cyberborn. First, it obviously gives me crafting and augmentation lore. I don't really care about that. I think I already had crafting skill from being a construct or an android. But so the idea that I have for my character is that since we're special forces or whatever, I am well, you know what? I'll just show it off now, I suppose. I saved it somewhere. Where the fuck did I save it actually? Where is it? Oh no. There you are. So, I drew my character because that's what I do, because I'm an artist sometimes. So, anybody could probably tell what that probably is from Star Wars. I'm a B1 battle droid, but I'm a little unique because I got a lot of new parts. Basically, that's the only thing that's still original from my character, or at least from being a normal battle droid, is my chassis, which is the chest area. But everything else, I am augmented, I am refurbished, I am remade, and repurposed to be the sniper of the team. I was designed by someone. If that wants to be any of you, I'm fine with that for, character get-alongness. But otherwise, I was built for the team to do this. And that's why I went Cyberborn, because it's just like, well, this thing's a piece of junk. Let's just build it up again. And that is why I am known as Clanky, because I clank around wherever I go.
Okay. And I do want to mention, if we want to discuss, like, as we're building this character, if you guys want to discuss the exact nature of your unit and what you are, I fully encourage it. But, does anybody have a background already in mind?
I'll jump in here because I don't have one yet, but I want to ask just ahead of time.
Okay.
Because of the skills, we know piloting's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any other immediate ones that come to mind that we would want, if I may ask?
Certainly, I think that is a good question. You guys will get some use out of society. Computers will likely come up a few times, once or twice. Those are the big ones I'm looking at. The others are a little bit more scattered.
Okay.
What about, just because I was thinking of it, because Clanky's somewhat smart,
Mhm.
at least with the way that I built them, or pre-built them, because I'm a dickhead or something.
Yeah.
How would lore robots go?
I think you could get some use out of that.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna get lore
Define somewhat
robots.
smart so that I know your attributes.
I have a +2 in intelligence, but I was originally gonna go +4, but then I was like, I don't want to be the smart one. I want to be slightly dumb because I have -1 charisma. So +2 is as high as I wanted to go. Also, I was then realizing, oh, I'm low on con. But yeah.
All right. Well, my plan currently is to go charisma based because envoy,
Right.
which just I feel like makes sense. And either strength or dex. I don't really have plans for any other stats at the moment.
You want to be an
Which I-
icon? You want to be the mascot for your unit?
Well, I was kind of. I was looking at doing from the front.
Ooh.
So, if anything, almost the commander.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
If
Yes.
people think that would be a good fit.
Do you want to hear my honest, earnest opinion? I have
Oh, boy.
never seen you in a commanding role ever, and I really wanted it to be you. I'm not gonna lie.
Interesting.
What background
This-
are you thinking suits the role of this commander concept you have?
So unfortunately, my familiarity is only with Pathfinder backgrounds.
Yeah. I will say, if you
And
want to narrow it
I-
down to Starfinder, you can just start. You can type it up in the background for the background selection of the search bar, and it'll show you all the Starfinder options.
Oh my goodness, you mad genius!
Oh shit! I just closed the. Whoops! I'll be
Well,
back.
now why did you do that?
I hate
Sorry.
myself. That's why.
Well, at least you're
One
honest.
option I see is a trooper. You enlisted in the military or were recruited by a paramilitary group as a career trooper. Unfortunately,
On
it
in
might
strength.
not have the stats you're looking for.
There. Ah, yes, a vid gamer.
Hell yeah! You were that kid that was indoctrinated through video games.
real. Let's
Well, this
see.
is just like
Looking
real
at a
life.
couple of
It
these.
was
There is-
real life, though.
There is just a
Definitely not
diplomat.
that. Hmm. Persian, fortune, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I don't dislike that because the way I hear diplomat and it doesn't sound combat oriented, but they
Yeah.
don't describe it non-combat oriented. They describe it very just job oriented even. So I
Yep.
can actually get behind that. I think I like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
So I think, yeah, I'll go diplomat.
okay, cool. We can figure out your lore. We'll talk about that. I don't want to give
Yeah.
too much away. Excellent. Diplomat, fantastic. Decaf or Ben, are either of you settled on a background that you're ready to discuss?
I think mine will probably benefit from the trooper.
Excellent, yeah. Let's grab Trooper for this soldiering android. I think that fits you perfectly. Now do keep in mind,
It's so far down.
yep, it's near the bottom. You're going to want Constitution as your primary ability score when we get to your
Yes.
class. Yeah. So we'll figure out where we're putting boosts and stuff. That leaves us with Decaf, and Decaf, you have already chosen your option here. What you want to talk about it a bit? Your dream prophet?
Well, yeah, you know me. I like the oracular, and
Mm-hmm.
my first attempt at a mystic was basically just rehashing my oracle from one of our Pathfinder games, as if the Starfinder setting fit it so much better because the mystic did.
Excellent. Well, great. That we'll see how that plays into this session, but that's fun. Now, most of you guys have your classes already sort of in mind. As we've been talking here, have there been any changes, or you guys, if not, go ahead and select the classes that we've already talked about. Throw them on your character sheet there.
Yep. I'm trying to make sure that I actually get all the skill increases I'm supposed to, and I do it correctly, because that'll be a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to skimp myself out on one by accident.
Fair. So Ben, you're sticking with soldier.
Yep. Oh, did it not? Freaking.
Populate.
It did not. There you go.
You might have
And-
sub options to pick.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So when you pick a
In
class,
Armor Storm?
you're usually given some sub options to go through with Foundry, so that it'll help you kind of build it up properly. So like I know when I clicked Envoy, it was like, all right, what's your skill? What's your lead style? Yada yada yada. I said okay.
So Ben is going to be an armor storm.
Yeah.
Fucking tank.
You never count as being in the area of a ranged weapon you've made an attack with. So it's essentially saying like, you're good at using like blast weapons and stuff, like grenade launchers. You gain resistance equal to half your level, minimum 1, against attacks made by suppressed targets. You can disarm, grapple, reposition, shove, or trip even if you don't have a free hand. You get a bonus on doing so if you are making these checks against suppressed foes. And whenever you use these maneuvers against a creature, they become suppressed until the start of your next turn.
Sweet.
Very cool. And then we've also got your walking armory, which lets you use your constitution. Cool.
Yeah.
Shy, you went envoy. What you went for the from the front leadership style, like you were talking about. Makes you
I
trained
sure
in
did.
athletics. Oh, and you're trained in medium armor. It's
I
handy.
sure am.
And then your acts of leadership, which you will have access to because we will be building to level 7, triggers whenever you raise a shield or take a move action to move within an enemy's reach.
Is BB cutting out for anyone else?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Am I sounding any better for folks?
You are now, but you've now. The first time I assumed it was maybe just on our end. Now it's twice that it's happened, fairly recently.
Just keep me informed on if there's any issues on that.
I
All right, if
thought
you-
I was going crazy as well, and also I had to restart my fucking voice modulator because I turned that off so nobody could hear me. I thought I was going crazy, but so I opened up his stream and I was like, "Oh, he's talking. I guess everybody's hearing him, just not me." So I think
Well, now you
Discord's
know,
messing
BB.
with us. Yeah.
Okay. That's weird. And then
Yeah,
as we already
Clearly
talked
all
about,
on you.
Decaf, our mystic, is going for the shadow connection. So this is going to make you a divine caster. It's going to give you stuff like figment and grim tendrils. Ooh, and you can reduce the light within an area. You get a lot of stuff.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Yeah. If you're reducing light in the area, I do have dark vision, so that will not impede me.
Actually, as do I.
Hell yeah. Well, look at that.
And then, as we already know, Blue has
Yeah, no,
Sniper. He ignores the volley traits of guns that he wields.
Yeah.
And you gain either keep them in your sights or scope sight as a bonus feat.
I also get a skill feat for my class immediately for stealth, and so I'm assuming we're going to be in general vicinity of buildings and such. So I took terrain stalker rubble just in case we might be going somewhere that might be a little destitute.
Fair. Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Okay, what do you guys want to talk about next? Because, as I said, I think skills are going to be a little bit important here, at least in the first half of this little thing I've got written up for you. Do you guys want to talk skills? Do you want to look at class feats and like option stuff like that.
I mean, I don't mind just talking about what skills people might be interested in.
Okay.
I will
Well,
say,
if that is the case, hey, let me make sure. Everybody, go ahead. So Ben, you see where it says attribute modifiers?
Yes.
Go ahead and click the edit button, and you're going to choose where you want to put your boosts and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so if everybody else wants to settle their ability scores, like for your ancestry, you're probably going to want to boost your constitution. You'll want to boost at pretty much every level.
yeah, same way with,
Boost.
Adam, you would get your intelligence every level.
Don't forget.
Okay.
And the glowing numbers on the side mean how many more ones you have to choose.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Sweet. That's actually really, really good.
Really handy, yeah.
It's extremely handy. Guys, Foundry's really cool. Not like Roll20. Are we allowed to diss? Or well, there goes our deal with Roll20 that
I'm
we
not
had,
sponsored.
set up.
I pay them.
Yeah, honestly, bro, honestly.
All right.
And then the other thing you can do once you've completed that, if you guys actually just want to set your characters to level 7 already, and apply your second round of ability boosts from that, you may do so. The only thing is we'll have to keep track of skill increases. So Ben, to do that, up
Yeah.
on the top of the character sheet, it says your name. Across from that, there's a little shield that says 1.
Yep.
You can actually highlight
gonna
that
change it.
1 and change it to a 7.
Okay. Haha.
Look at that.
There we go.
You've already got 106 hit points.
God damn.
God damn.
So you can go to edit again, and you'll have another round of ability boosts to choose from.
Ew.
All right. Has everybody done ability boosts?
Mm-hmm. I'm good.
Shai, Decaf,
Would
you
be
guys
good,
are
I
good
think, yeah.
on that? Okay. Ben, you see the little, the hand on your bar up there?
Yes.
That is your skill proficiencies and other proficiencies. Go ahead and click that.
Yeah.
And let's get everybody there. And let's talk about what you guys are looking for. So, you know what, let me bring up the book. So let's just start off with what everybody's trained in. If you want to lead us off there, Blue, because you've already made your choices.
Well, these choices again are subject to change,
Mhm.
but I think being good at acrobatics is good for my lanky droid. Maybe some kind of neural processor increase my capabilities compared to a normal B1. But with acrobatics at master, that's mainly because I want to take Kip up because I don't want to be prone. Afterwards, I then started with crafting because droids do. Actually, I think I'm supposed to choose another one because of the augmented body or something like that. I might be wrong. Am I not? Oh no, wait. It's because of Cyberborn and Android. Let's quickly check so I'm not incorrect about what I get as a starter Android.
Well, while you're looking up that, Shai, I have the envoy open. You are trained in one of the following skills of your choice: deception, diplomacy, or intimidation.
Okay, I'm so glad you found that because I am struggling where the frick that is because it gave me the thing and I don't see it in the PDF.
Yep, I have it. It's in the PDF. It is page 63.
Where? Oh, look at that right there. I'm just that blind. All right, cool.
So
Sick.
did you?
Thank you. I've
did you
been
already-
searching for that for like the past 15 minutes.
Yeah. Did you already pick one of those?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually.
So diplomacy is from
'Cause-
your background. So is
Yeah,
intimidation
by
the one?
default, I have athletics and diplomacy
Mhm.
because of my leadership style and my background.
Yep.
And then intimidation otherwise from from that just now.
Okay. And then you're trained in a number of additional skills equal to 6 plus your intelligence modifier.
Well, don't you worry. It's not going to get more than 6 because I only have an intelligence of, guess what, 0.
Perfect.
Oh.
Nice and easy. Keeping it simple.
Heck yeah. Knowing what my stats are, I am going a little more charisma oriented, obviously.
Mhm.
And then otherwise, I've got strength and wisdom as like the following 2.
Okay.
So, does that align with any of our current needs?
I have a -2 in diplomacy.
Well, a good thing that's not your thing. How do you have a -2? Wait a minute.
Because I have
he's a
-1
machine.
from being an android, and then I have
Oh,
-1
and
from
from a-
being
jeez.
an emotionally unaware android, because that's just a thing you start with. So you start with charisma flaw and then a -1. So
Love it.
me and Ben aren't going to be really talking.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why it says.
-2.
I don't know why it gave me a +1. That should be a -1. Oh, here we go. Our -2. That was weird.
There you
Anyways,
go.
Oh, because I hit medicine check.
that's because you
why.
clicked medicine.
Yes.
I'm dumb.
Okay. Well, speaking of, due to the fact that I've got 6 here, I'm thinking, because it always feels like a good one, medicine.
Okay. Solid choice.
Survival might not be a bad one.
You could get some use out of that.
Yeah. Let's see. Stealth feels pretty important.
So,
Piloting is not a bad skill to have regardless.
right.
Grab deception. Just round all 3 of those out. And I've got 1 remaining. I don't have either nature or religion if we feel like one of those could be useful as a knowledge skill.
Of those 2, religion will be more useful.
Alright, sure, why not? So yeah, there's the initial 6.
All right. So I have the mystic pulled up next. You're trained in 1 skill determined by your connection, which is stealth due to the shadow, and then you get a number of additional skills equal to 3 plus your intelligence modifier. Now it looks like you picked society as a skilled human. You want to just give us a quick rundown of where you toss the others?
Just as a heads up, I'm doing the natural skill ancestry feat at level 1 as well for a couple more proficiencies.
Oh wow.
So altogether, I will have Arcana, Computers, Deception, Diplomacy, Nature, Occultism, Religion, Society,
Oh my God.
Stealth, and Dimensional Lore.
10.
Ooh, okay.
You have 10
Ooh.
skills.
Oh
Jesus
yeah, I have
Christ.
more for a planet.
Yeah, we'll
Crap.
talk about that.
Oh, okay.
You're not even a bard. How do you have so many fucking skills? I suppose your class is intelligent based.
Not.
Oh. Oh.
What the hell?
All right. So Ben, you already got athletics from your background. You got intimidation from your class here. You got society from your heritage. You get a number of additional skills equal to 3 plus your intelligence modifier. So you will also get to pick 6 more skills.
6 more skills. Okay.
Yeah,
Nope.
you actually you might have the highest intelligence in the party.
The fuck out of here.
Yeah, nope,
What's
you
your
do.
intelligence again?
He's got a
You gotta
plus
be
3
smart to use
intelligence.
explosives.
Huh.
You sure you don't want wisdom for that initiative bonus?
You might want to lean into the intelligence.
Fair enough.
Y'all
Alright,
can
so-
have it.
Alright, so what is this kind of shit that usually the army wants you to have? So, athletics,
You've got that. A
so medicine,
little bit of medicine. if you're
Occultism.
trained, yeah.
Huh?
mhm,
Um,
piloting.
Performance.
Piloting's good. You'll get some use out of computers and crafting.
Yep. Eaters. They usually. What is survival they usually want us to do, which is dumb, but I don't like. They still make us do it.
Survive.
Yeah.
Probably.
God, they teach us so much about religion, which is dumb.
All right, one more.
All right.
Thievery.
Did you want to say, yeah, thievery, crafting. You could lean into intelligence for arcana or occultism.
Does
I mean, my experience in the military
Or
was
skill.
learn how to requisition and acquire things.
So thievery.
Tactically acquired.
Yep.
Tactically acquired. It's not thieving.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
tactically acquired.
So you have, as far as I can hear, athletics, computers, crafting, piloting.
He's got no
stuff.
crafting.
Yeah. Oh, no crafting. All right. I was wondering how similar that we were. I was just like, damn, we really are robots out here.
All right.
Excellent. Okay, let's talk about here. Let's just handle all the skill stuff first. So let's talk about skill increases. Does anybody's class get a skill increase earlier than level 3?
Good question.
Okay, hold on, because I think this might actually involve me.
Yeah. I don't think it involves me.
It does not involve the soldier.
Yes.
So Ben, you're in the clear.
Yes, I do.
You're okay. Shy, where's you get a level 2 skill increase?
I'm. Oh my good god! I'm like a rogue. I get it every level.
Ooh, very
Oh
cool.
shit.
Fun.
All right, where do you want to put your skill increase for second level?
Okay, let's say second level. Let's just do the one thing I'm already good at, and we'll improve diplomacy.
Okay. Sounds like a decent idea. All right, third level. What skills do we want to be increased? Do people want to be increasing to expert? Blue already increases piloting to expert.
Yeah.
He's also got his acrobatics at master.
Yeah. So the reason why I put piloting at expert, just in case for anyone, I'm already going to be preferably very far away, so I might just stay near the vehicle depending on where we are, so I can easily get back into it, pick your asses up, and then chase if we need to.
What is, out of curiosity, what is everyone's dex?
+4 because sniper.
Dex +2.
+0.
Oh.
Mine is also a +2.
Let
So,
them mystic in melee.
hey, if you end up wishing to put more into piloting, feel free to let us know.
I mean, I have +15.
Hey, you never know. I have a +15 as well in diplomacy, and I can make it better. Anyways,
Yeah, that's fair.
it's good to know.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys thinking for level 3, though? I think it's good to discuss this to sort of like divvy up what people are going to be improving.
I can do expert for computers.
I think that's a solid choice.
Yeah,
Everyone's got a hack.
Yeah. You might also want
Um,
athletics just to like take advantage of your strength, but that can go up at like level 5.
I was gonna say I'm doing that myself actually at 3.
Nice. I think that's a good call as well. The one reason I do bring it up for Ben is because his whole armor storm is about using the athletic maneuvers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
That is nice.
athletics at level 5. Yep.
Decaf. What so you automatically get an increase to society due to your heritage. What else are you looking at increasing?
I'll bump up occultism here.
Okay. Cool. Shy, I'm just gonna let you kind of run wild with all the even level increases.
All right, well then at 4, I'm now an expert in medicine.
Perfect.
On to 5.
5.
Whoa.
So 5, Blue already did his expert in acrobatics or piloting, whichever direction he went. What about the rest of you?
Do the athletics.
Expert athletics for Ben. Okay.
Shove.
Decaf, you got
Expert intimidation.
expert intimidation for Shy. Okay, very nice. Some good debuffing abilities in there. Decaf.
Level 5?
Yeah.
Stealth. Gotta get that up eventually.
Stealth. Okay. Solid choice. Then Shy will get one at 6. We'll just roll past that.
Let's. I was gonna say I'll mention what it is so that we have
just
it.
real
but,
quick.
We'll go with survival. I feel like that's a good call
All right, I
for a
dig it.
leader.
And then level 7, you guys can either increase a trained skill to expert or an expert skill to master. So Blue took his master to acrobatics.
E.
Which direction are the rest of you going?
We know, again, the ones that we know are going to be primarily useful are, was it piloting, society, and computers? Is that what I remember?
Those are some good ones. There's others in there that you will get use out of. Intimidation isn't
Those
a
are
bad
just-
one.
Okay. Gotcha.
Decaf, you usually got a good idea of which direction you're going. Do you have something you've already chosen to become a master in?
Well, since my vitality pool regens a little bit more because I am a master in said skill, I would just pump up stealth again right here.
Okay. Stealth to master. You're sneakier than the actual operative.
DGAV mentioned yesterday. I didn't want to step on toes.
Ben, do you know which?
I am
Do
trained,
you want to increase anything to master?
I feel like I should increase the athletics to master.
Sure. That should push people around a bit.
Yeah, just to make sure I can do that and not have a useless ability.
Now, Shy, you have a wealth of skills that you could become a master in.
I think because we're like first response, I feel like we're constantly the one to try and catch attention. I think either diplomacy or intimidation, and I might lean towards intimidation.
Master performance. Get out of the room! Oh.
Master intimidation. Excellent. Okay. That gives us our lineup for your skills here. I think you guys got a nice degree of or a nice variety. You got some good options. Let's take a look at feats. So Ben, you're gonna click on the icon right next to the palm. It should kind of look like a medal, like hanging
Okay.
from a necklace or something, like a band.
Okay.
And so first off, this covers everything you've already got. It covers your primary target feature. It covers the fact that you got a reflex expertise at 3rd level. It gives you your fearsome bulwark, which lets you use your constitution modifier instead of your charisma modifier on intimidation checks, and instead of your strength checks on modifier on athletics checks to reposition or shove.
Ah. That's actually pretty nice.
Yep. Yeah, and if you hover over like the icons, you'll see like they turn into a little chat box, and you can click them and send them to the chat, as you just did with Armor Store. Or as I did with Armor Store.
Okay.
You can also click on their names to expand them so you can look at them.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
So if you scroll down a little
Nice.
bit further, you'll see a section with ancestry feats, class feats, skill feats, general feats, and you'll see little mirror looking glasses next to them. magnifying glasses, that's what they're called. And so you can click and pick options to put in there.
Okay, cool.
As he's doing that,
Have you got
I
some
don't
stuff in
see
mind?
any envoy feats at all.
Interesting.
I mentioned that before. There's
Oh, well, for some reason
none of
when
the
I
class feats work.
click search, let me see. That doesn't.
We had this problem before. The DM could see them, but we couldn't.
I can't see them right now.
Oh,
That's
I guess
reassuring.
everyone's probably now.
Okay.
I'm about to be
Uh,
rebuilding on the fly.
Is it possible that it's because of the settings that so in the past we had to go to settings and do unique like turning them on and off again basically. And I don't mean the gear settings, I mean the compendium browser settings. Yeah.
Let me see. Because I mean, all your other feats are showing up there. Oh, you know what? Here, let me check source.
Yeah, it's interesting because I can find like acquire asset as like a feat if I want. If
Mhm.
I go, it's locked. Hold on. Is that what that is? Wait a minute.
Pact Breaker. Advanced
Are
Player's
these
Guide.
locked?
So they shouldn't be.
There we go. Sweet.
Lost Omens.
BB, while you're in compendium browser here, at least with what I can see on this stream, next to spells at the top, it says settings. There might be a thing in there.
Yep. Alright, just gotta find.
Yeah, so this is what we did last time to fix it.
Gotta check equipment for Starfinder. Feats for Starfinder. Spells for Starfinder. Okay. I'll go
Bam.
through this and I'll save changes there. Oh wait, might need to click sources as well.
And with that as is, I'm just going to hit that refresh button. See if that helps.
Save changes. Okay, so Ben. Yep, okay. I just looked at Ben's feed and it brings up all the soldier feats.
Yep, that worked out
Alright,
pretty
let me-
good.
Same
we
for
need to like
Envoy.
refresh.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys need to refresh, but it works from. I can hop on.
I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna see if it works.
Oh, let
I'll
me
let
give
you
a
know.
welcome to Deeth25. Yeah, they have July to get everything sorted. Hopefully, we'll see like a Star Builder 2e or something, and we'll get
Yeah.
a Star Muncher to just load stuff in.
So nice.
But yeah, no, we wanted to give the playtest a shot. We have talked about this, and
Here we go. Yep, we're good now.
They work now.
excellent. It works for everybody. So Ben,
Yes.
you went for some nanites.
Yep.
So you got a cleansing subroutine and a nanite subroutine to give you a bonus on saving throws.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And Blue, you've got your night vision adaptation as well as the advanced
Yeah.
targeting system.
Yeah. So I get a sure strike once per day. I think that's fair for the the idea that I'm going to snipe someone and I want to hit.
Deeth is asking, have we tried the character builder on Demiplane for Starfinder 2e? I
I have
have
not.
players that have. I have not personally because I'm always running stuff. Blue just said he hasn't, and I doubt Ben has, but I don't know. Shy, Decaf, have you guys looked into it?
No.
Negative on our part, but to
Yeah.
be fair, again, we both have that module that I had mentioned for Path Builder. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that one from you.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you can find if you find it, you'll probably get more out of it than we have. I think I need to update mine.
So, Decaf, you're going for Deity's Domain for Darkness, giving you a nice little focus spell. And then Mental Interference.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, so this just inflicts a will save and a penalty on attack rolls to the creature for a whole minute. Ah! Though I can spend an action to shake it off.
Yes.
Okay.
Precisely.
That's cool. I mean, that's a fun little debuffing ability. It only costs 2 to do it. That's super neat. Ben, have you found any class feats that stick out to you yet?
Not quite yet. I'm looking a lot.
Yeah, we'll just start with level 1, and then go from there. That'll be probably the easiest. Good quip at people.
I'm a quip. Oh, I don't have the charisma for quipping.
Not yet.
Now, if you're looking at knocking people around using those athletics maneuvers, there is Burst of Strength, which is a reaction that triggers when you fail or critically fail an athletics check to use any of those maneuvers, and lets you re-roll the triggering check, but you must use a new result, even if it's worse.
That's a class feat.
Yep, yeah.
What's it called?
It is a level 1 class feat. It is called Burst of Strength.
Why is it not? It is not on here.
Are the others on there?
Level 2 up, yes.
Level 2 up.
But yeah, not level 1.
On the left, you're on class feats, right? Not skill feats?
Yes.
Okay. Down at the bottom, you see where it says levels?
Yeah.
Make sure the right block is at 0. Or the left block is at 0.
Mm-hmm. At
Then-
0. Yeah, it'll only populate once you go to 2.
No, we are very familiar with PF2E. Ben has never played in Foundry, so we're guiding him through it. But we do a lot of PF2E here.
There we go.
You got it figured out?
Not enough.
That's so dumb. For whatever reason, because the trait says soldier and dedication or something like that, I took those up, and all of a sudden now there's level 1 stuff.
Okay.
That was weird.
Yeah, make sure you got the right ones. So, Blue, it looks like you have all 4 of your class feats picked. You want to talk about any of them?
I kind of don't, because then you'll fight me, but I'm going to anyways. So, I've built the epitome of a sniper, and I am disgusting with it. So, first, I start with being a sniper or an operative, and then choosing the sniper subset. I have starting keep them in your sights, which is a class feat that I just gave free. Basically, if I aim, my second range increment is my distance for my weapon, rather than it just being first. Or I don't take a penalty to targeting a creature within the second increment. So technically, I have 200 feet, which is great. But then I have mobile aim, so I can shoot. Sorry, I can stride and then aim with a gun that I'm wielding, should I need to. I then have peek, which is then I could make a range strike and then take cover. I then also have devastating aim, which is when I aim normally, I have precision dice, which are D4s. But with devastating aim, these become D6s. so my shots do even more damage. And then finally, I have always ready to interact to draw a weapon immediately when rolling initiative, and then at the beginning of my turn, aiming as a free action,
Yeah.
or my first turn.
And then as a operative, you also have mobile reload, which says whenever
Yes.
you interact to reload a ranged weapon, you can also step or stride.
So the plan is fire using peak so that I make a range strike, take cover, become hidden in that moment,
Yeah.
and then move wherever I need to, because snipers, at least in media, a good sniper is one that moves and doesn't just sit in position.
Very cool. And
And
we do see you preparing for your kip up because you've got sniper stance.
yeah, the sniper stance allows me to go prone and I don't take penalties, or I can use an action to not take penalties from off guard, or gaining off guard while prone. It's nice.
Yeah, that's
But
solid.
I also just take no penalties while prone with guns. So nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. I have no idea what else to choose though.
Decaf, what the hell is Child of the Twilight Eclipse? That
Sounds fucking terrifying.
That sounds like it should not be a 6th level feat, just
Well,
by the name alone.
unfortunately, it is, and the best part is this is exactly why I said that this class made a lot more sense for my Oracle, because, well, I'm a Divine Caster, but with Shadow, I get access to a lot more Shadow-themed spells naturally. Child of the Twilight Eclipse says that you basically choose light or darkness. As a Child of Darkness, in this case, I automatically gain access to a first, a second, a third, and a 7th rank spell that are added to my repertoire as signatured spells.
Ah, you know what? I was
So
going to
it
say, I saw Grim Tendrils
increases
was
everything.
already under your Shadow connection, so I was like, what's the benefit? But it makes it a signature automatically.
Makes a signature. Mhm.
Ooh, that's juicy.
Yeah. So these are a good way to expand on a spontaneous caster's repertoire, giving them a little bit more flexibility with their spell choices every day,
Okay.
but also keeping me in theme.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Ben, have you settled on any class feats?
So I'm trying to find Burst of Strength, but it's not popping up at all. Like, it's in the book, but it's not in Foundry.
All right. So class feat, you clicked the magnifying glass on the one empty slot.
Yes.
All right. What do you see there?
Whole lot of level 2s. No
Okay.
level 1.
Well, here's what we'll do. I can see stuff properly. So you look at the book and you tell me what feats you're looking at, and I'll throw them in for you.
So, yeah, that Burst of Strength would be very helpful for my character.
Okay. First level, burst of strength.
Oh, he probably just didn't refresh the page.
Maybe.
Oh, I've not refreshed it, no.
Yeah,
You can
no,
try
hit the refresh button.
While he's doing that, Shy, you've got yours all picked out. And almost all of them end in exclamation points.
I've noticed that, although I am about to change one of them, so one
Ooh,
sec. We're going to
okay.
go Kaduk, Kadunk.
To one that ends in a
Kadoosh?
question mark. Nope, still an exclamation point.
Fret not, I'm doing the thing.
You want to talk a little bit about what you have here? Oh, what's
Yeah,
that,
sure,
Ben?
absolutely.
I said, oh, there it is.
Everything's working now?
Yeah.
Perfect, you get some feats picked out. Well, let's look at what Shy's got in the meantime.
Yeah, I've been painstakingly deciding because I'm like, I don't know. So I've decided upon for level 1, because I do get one at level 1, to have acquire asset, which allows me something that the envoy has just in general is that they have assets that they can kind of like track down, keep an eye on. And explicitly, normally, sort of like an investigator, if you will, you normally need a little bit of time to do it. Acquire asset allows you to do it in the middle of combat.
Okay.
I've got watch out, which is basically the nimble dodge for an ally.
Yep.
Allows me to nimble dodge on someone else's behalf, essentially. I've decided upon getting your head in the game, aka helping an ally, scolding them, quote unquote, as it says, for failing to pay attention. Sounds like a leader thing to do. But it
Okay.
helps get rid of like fatigued and off guard conditions.
Interesting. Ooh, but only once per hour per target.
Yep. So it is something I have to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
And then the last one is get in there. And I'm still debating on this one. I'm not sure I like all the options I have, but we'll play around with it. But this allows me to give everyone a plus 10-foot status bonus to speeds due to being level 7. And as long as I lead by example, they can, as a reaction, step in stride or stride.
Very cool. Excellent. All right. Ben, have you settled on any choices? Just saw-
Making a few.
Saw a level 2, Relentless Endurance, letting you get some extra temp HP.
Next one.
Well, he's doing that. If you guys want to pick out like skill feats and general feats, get those all picked up and stuff.
I have.
Baloo's
I am
got
done.
take the wheel and power slide.
Well, considering my only skills that are expert and master are those two,
Mhm.
take the wheel allows me to board and take control of an adjacent vehicle as a single action rather than 2 actions.
Okay.
So getting into the car is very easy for me. I leave the door unlocked, but it's only unlocked for me.
Okay.
And then power slide allows me to, per action spent, I can, I believe, turn the vehicle up to 90 degrees.
Mhm.
So if I do this correctly, quote unquote, I could possibly turn the thing up to 180 degrees just in a ease of slide.
Yep.
But it allows me to basically make a quote unquote more reckless maneuver without being a reckless maneuver, because that's an actual thing,
Mhm.
and allows me to drive a little bit easier. And then for general feats, finally, I have Kip Up, so I can get up from prone if I need to. I also took Catfall because I'm a master in acrobatics, and if I do so happen to find a sniper tower and it gets blown up, I'd like to land on my feet. Then finally, for general feats, I just took Fleet, and then I took Stunt Maneuver, so that if I am doing anything reckless, I reduce the penalty by 1.
Okay.
I think. Something like that.
Very cool. Decaf, do you want to talk about any of the stuff you got? You don't have to like
Which
list
of the
everything,
stuff?
but do you want to talk about any skill feats or general feats?
So I have, on top of those class feats, background gives me schooled in secrets. Obviously, we're doing oddity identification, arcane sense, so I get an extra little cantrip for the sake of it all, and quiet allies, so that even though my dexterity is the worst, with my highest in stealth, we can use my modifier for a stealth check as a group.
Okay.
And then on the general side, because I am a wisdom-based caster, incredible initiative, so that I can actually, for once as a caster, maybe go first. And
See about that.
in case we end up in a vacuum, breath control.
Ah,
Hell yeah.
that's smart. That's smart.
That's a. Do I breathe, BB?
Androids?
What?
I think
Yeah.
they do.
Oh, Ben, we're gonna die out in space.
Why?
Because androids apparently breathe.
Well,
Okay.
I hold on now. We haven't
Yeah.
gotten into equipment yet.
Yeah. You guys will have options there.
I don't want to buy a rebreather.
Most Starfinder armor comes with basically becoming a spacesuit
Yep.
Oh, that makes
just by
sense.
default.
As long as they aren't like archaic
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, if they're not archaic or like deliberately modified to not have it. Almost all of them have it by default.
Ben, it looks like you've got your class feats picked out.
Yep.
So
Looking through all.
We've talked a little bit about Burst of Strength, Relentless Endurance. You've got
Mhm.
Overwhelming Assault here, reducing your
Yep.
multiple attack penalty against suppressed targets. which I mean you could get some good use out of that, but with your armor storm, following up,
Yeah.
a blast against a suppressed target to try to like knock him to the ground or something, and
Yep.
then you took a "I'll be back."
Yep. Seems fitting for Android.
So once per day, after you've gained the unconscious and you've regained consciousness, you can immediately stand and interact to draw or grab an unattended weapon. Fantastic. Lets you get right back in the fight.
Yep. Real quick.
Let's see, you've got your intimidating shot. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, I think that covers a lot of the basics here. Now, Decaf, you're our only caster. If you want to talk spells, we can. It looks like you've picked most of them out.
I'm going through them, yeah.
Yeah, but I will leave that up to you how much you want to dive into that and how much you want to save for our actual game.
I mean, the Child of the Twilight Eclipse revealed all of my dark spells.
That is terrifying to say.
What?
Yeah, we had
Just
Don't say that in
consider me another character from Kingdom Hearts.
Okay. Fair.
yeah, and you can
Because
also
how many
use
times
your
in the game do we say the word darkness?
Every other sentence.
you can also use your shadow to perform simple interact actions as a child of the Twilight Eclipse.
Terrifying.
Okay, so I think you guys are just sort of filling in some like rear end stuff, just some like leftover things. Blue's already filled everything in. I think we're gonna save equipment for sort of like in between. If you guys do want to take a look at equipment, like we already know Blue's going for a sniper rifle. If you
Yeah.
have like an idea of the kind of weapon you want your character to wield, that might be fun to talk about. Otherwise, I want to discuss your characters. How do you think they fit into the world? I'll give you a little bit of background. I guess I should probably do that.
Yeah.
You guys are a party of special operatives, a rapid response unit that is able to swiftly deploy and counter extraordinary situations. You guys have had a variety of jobs, tasks maybe you've been like assigned to investigate stuff. Because like I said, you guys can be like official, you could be like, you could be law enforcement, you could be paramilitary, anything like that, or you could be mercenaries. Whatever really strikes your fancy. We're going to set our adventure, not to be basic, but we're going to set our adventure on Earth.
Whoa.
Specifically in the year, and this is really hopeful, I guess, the year 2057.
That'll help, yeah. We don't have robots yet.
The aliens made
Interesting. I now know where we'll be here in a few a couple decades.
The aliens made contact and there was a tech revolution.
Lovely.
But yeah, do you guys have a preference on which way you're like leaning for your characters to be? Like, do you want to go the route of law enforcement, mercenaries? What are you thinking?
What are we, Commander? You're in charge
Well,
of this unit.
I was gonna say, if y'all want me to decide, I guess I can. I
Do you have
don't mind
crafting,
it.
by the way, Command?
Me?
Yeah.
With my 0 intelligence? Absolutely not. Who do you think I am?
Oh. All I know is that I was built for this operation, sir.
You don't have to be
Damn
smart. You
straight.
just have to command.
Exactly. That's what wisdom's for.
Listen, they don't put you in the fucking officer school because you're smart.
They do because
True.
they
Ain't
listen.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
ain't that
Yep.
the fucking truth?
Literally. I don't know. I could almost see like a, what would it be called? Like a militaristic, not bandit. Like you mentioned
Mercenary, paramilitary.
mercenary.
Mercenary?
Probably more paramilitary, yeah.
Okay. So you guys have some ties to like official
Yeah, there's official
governance.
tie because I imagine under like legal side, you being the first one on a scene every time would not go well unless you had at least legal reason to do so.
Yeah, and I mean
Or
the other
legal
option
approval.
is like you could be, essentially the rapid response team for a corporation.
We're gonna be
True.
like
They're the
Space
This
jack
was
Blackwater.
Shadowrun, absolutely.
the jackbooted thugs for some corpo. But okay, cool.
Freaking megacorps.
You guys have been most recently charged with. There has been a series of robberies, striking high value targets, and the perpetrator drives a some sort of souped up racing vehicle.
Interesting.
So,
Out of curiosity,
yes.
do I? So if I know enough about the souped up racing fit, could that be one of my assets?
Yeah, I think so.
Sick.
Based off of the license plate, most people have taken to calling this car and its driver, whoever it may be, Silk Road.
Silk Road.
Fascinating.
Yep.
There's a familiar person.
To help potentially catch this culprit on this speedster, you guys have been given a vehicle
Yes.
like this.
Oh yeah,
Damn,
we got a
looks like a
fucking
We
striker.
about to run someone over.
bro. We got a fucking turret on top. Hell yeah.
So you
We got
guys
a fucking APC.
name it as you'd like. Right now it's just called the Armored Response Vehicle.
Arv. I'm gonna call it Marv.
Marv.
Yep. Marv the Arv.
It's like a smaller MRAP.
What the heck was that music?
Music?
Oh. Oh, can you hear my kid singing? Is that what's
Oh,
happening?
that's what it was.
Very
I heard
briefly.
something in the background very briefly. I was like, what was that?
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
your dad's friends can hear you singing. Are you embarrassed?
Jeez.
So you guys have the Marv.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Marv is my favorite friend. I'm gonna put an AI in him at some point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yep, we're on the playtest, but as Deeth points out, first Starfinder book drops in May.
It drops in May. I thought it was July.
Soon,
Ooh.
dude.
Yep, first one is in May. I believe
So
it is the
soon.
Galaxy Guide. So it's not
Ooh.
actually the quarterly
Oh.
book. It's a little bit
Oh.
more lore focused, but there are 6 ancestries in it.
Mm.
And a couple
My guy,
like
I'm not even.
other
Is it
options
the
and stuff.
like the normal ancestries that we're used to, or
No.
like in the playtest, or no? Oh my!
No.
I've not even seen the base ones, and they're showing me new ones. What?
Give
Yeah.
me back the dragonkin. The dragonkin was dope.
They're goofy looking. So the
Eh.
the Galaxy Guide is gonna be it's supposed to like be a lot of lore stuff to get people like hyped up and invested in the setting before all the rules for it drop. But speaking of which, you guys have most of your choices made, and whatever you don't, including like equipment, we can make in between sessions. But
Whoa.
let's see if we can't get into stuff a little bit here. You know that Silk Road has a period at which she operates. She tends to operate more towards the evening, trying to take advantage of the dark to, escape anybody trying to capture her and stuff like that. So, you have all gathered. You're all maybe packed into Marv, whose name we can change if you'd like. His token there, you can see it.
Yay. Oh, actually, we can't see anything right now. We're all blind. It's been a black screen for us this whole time.
Strange. You guys
I mean, do we
have
have tokens?
You guys
The
have
map property has
control-
limiting.
Yeah, you guys have control of Marv, so I thought that would grant you vision.
Yeah.
Alright, let me see.
Marv might not have vision. Marv might be blind.
Because he's a robot,
Well,
perhaps.
Well, okay,
Sure.
now hold on. No.
hey!
Here.
Some
that's-
bold
that supposed to
assumptions.
It does. I could see.
I do see now, yes.
Perfect.
Oh my god, I'm flying. What? Who's driving this thing? Why are we in the air?
Actually, I do have a voice modulator for Clanky. I'm
Well,
gonna
so
turn it
yeah,
on.
let's you guys are, maybe you're cycling out, maybe you're like rotating shifts, and so the four of you are starting to come on shift. And so the first one, because we've got art, we've got a name, and I don't need art from all of you, but like a description and a name. Because the first out of the locker room, marching up to Marv, or maybe like doing checks on Marv, getting ready to go out on the road potentially, is none other than Clanky. So Blue, give us a description. Tell us a little bit about this character.
Clanky, as I said earlier, is a repurposed, and specifically built to be upon this squad. Maybe I was custom ordered by commander over there. No idea what real name is, but for now, I'm just going to call them by their rank because I probably do not rankitize them. Yeah. I don't really know what to call a robot, so I will call them they.
Okay.
They are pretty cool, in my opinion. They got a big gun, and learning that snipers in this game are limited to 1 round per shot. Ooh, they should have put like a bolt action trait or something in the game, made it a little easier. But or at least 1 round per mag, I should say. And Clanky, I suppose, I don't really know if I ever leave the locker room or wherever port that we are in. I don't know if we have charging stations wherever we are, I suppose.
Yeah, you might just have.
How invested is our base? I want to leave
if
this
you
up
guys,
to everyone.
If you guys are paramilitary, it is pretty well equipped.
Hell yeah. I suppose just kind of vibing around Marv for right now, inspecting the vehicle and doing any fine tune-ups, since I am the common driver, and with at least training in crafting, I'm just gonna make sure it's maintained.
Kick the tires, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I've known operators like you.
Kick the tires and and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Ben and I have both known operators like
Check
you.
the fucking oil.
Dumb motherfucker.
Listen.
All
Fucking,
right.
let me know who else is the fucking driver and the fucking mechanic, and you could take it from me then. Is anyone higher than just trained in crafting in this unit?
You guys
I don't
might
think
just
so.
have. You guys might have mechanics in the motor pool.
Bro, I mean, let's be honest. Some of the mechanics were maybe trained. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
not trained.
Well, the next character I see named is the next character to arrive on scene. So, Decaf, tell us about Icarus and how they're arriving to, the vehicle bay or wherever the Marv is currently located.
Icarus decided to take her moniker because, the lesson was that he flew too close to the sun, and she believes in sticking with the shadows. But
Hell yeah.
that's just it. It's her moniker. Nobody knows her actual real name, but she has always been an operative when it comes to anything that gets people in and out with as little notice as possible. She probably just comes up and is waiting for the rest of the crew to arrive before she even decides to jump inside Marv.
Okay. Yeah, you see this lean sort of it looks like it's made from a couple different parts, but this like purple and tan android checking the vehicle. And I think you can feel free to choose otherwise if you so wish. But I think you are I think you've worked together a bit. And
Yeah.
we do have art for Icarus here that I'll share with people. We'll get these all loaded in before next session.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can,
I should
can
give
see
you a crop.
Icarus there on stream, very pretty. Reminds me of Eris from the Sinbad animated movie.
It does.
Hmm?
Excellent. Well, Ben, it looks like you're the next character who has a name.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, so I'm going to let you tell us how, and then tell us a bit about this character and how they arrive on the scene.
Well, his serial number is KP0T, which just people just call him K-pop because it just looks like it. So
Yeah, I knew it. It's K-pop. Yes.
So he's refurbished military droid, and yeah, he's just so used to always being tossed around into different either mercenary groups or basically any kind of security detail. So it's all he's known, and he's all he ever does. So he's just kind of used to just being in battle situations, and it's just he's appropriate for a battle droid.
Okay. So, do you have any descriptions for him?
I would imagine he's probably looks like probably an older android. Like they didn't
Okay.
have the technology quite as advanced, so all the parts are so kind of bulky.
It's a little more squarish, less
Mhm.
smoothed out parts.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he comes onto the scene. He sees Icarus there waiting. He sees his fellow android Clanky inspecting your beast of a machine, Marv. Does he offer any greetings? Does he say anything as he walks up?
He just walks by and goes, "Hey, that's it."
Perfect.
Apparently, we're not the most social of group. That two negative ones in this group really brings the small talk down.
Well, that's why we've saved the most charismatic for last.
I have -2 on charisma. What do you want from me?
You have -2? I only have -1. How'd you get the second
Oh,
one?
hold on. No, that was diplomacy. My bad.
-2 on
Negative
diplomacy, only -1 on charisma.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of me.
So, Shaw, your unit's in order.
Yeah.
Who are you playing? And can you tell us a little
Uh,
bit about them and their arrival on the scene?
Well, I'll start off with. I think I've decided upon the name Atlas.
Atlas. Ooh.
Nice.
And I think because I'm also trying to like get like inspiration for like art and stuff. This will be a
Mhm.
difficult one. I choose the worst ancestries to find art for. Anyways,
Face Cat, you got this. I believe in you.
yeah, I found all kinds of catfolk art for D&D. Nothing sci-fi yet. Anyways, but I haven't gotten to look for very long. So, but yeah, so I imagine Atlas is probably getting details on the mission. You know, it's they're getting details on any information from where they've been, what they've been up to, where they might be going next, and he's just been trying to gather this all. And maybe he's mapping it out in his head, and sort of like Atlas, but um, I imagine once he does end up on scene, he calls everyone to attention, and what I'm envisioning is this somewhat armored looking individual, nothing super crazy, still fairly thin, but very well built, dark furred, very serious face as he orders everyone to make any final preps.
Commander, it's good to see you.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm. This is thing. This is the thing. This is gonna be this way.
Roger.
Roger,
Got
Roger.
it.
Oh, I got it correctly.
Oh, you came far more prepared than I was expecting, and you know what?
Very.
Well played.
I set this up yesterday.
You might get yourself an extra hero point when we properly start.
Thank you, Commander.
You're welcome. Yep, that was totally my doing. Yep. No. The stress just already showing. No.
You got this, Commander. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's just Silk Road that we know about as of this time.
Correct. Yeah, Silk
Correct?
Road
Okay.
has been targeting mainly. So Detroit kind of had as I mentioned, a technological revolution, and Detroit, once known as Motor City, was restored by this happening to once again a place on the cutting edge of development of vehicles and stuff.
Interesting.
And Silk Road seems to be targeting either vehicle companies or like racing garages and absconding with like the tech there.
Okay.
And
All right,
thus
yeah.
far, yeah, she's been a little bit too fast for anybody to capture. Your Marv has been souped up to help you in that endeavor, and you're all pretty proficient, capable individuals. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. I'll go ahead and get the name in there before I forget, because I almost forgot.
Atlas.
Yeah, yeah, good old Atlas. I think he just gives a quick debrief, like, yep, you guys have already heard the drill, but we're going after Silk Road. They've been hitting multiple places, but big wigs and all their money finally decided to actually speak up because then they got hit. And now we're on the job. Clank, I've already told you about Marv. Marv should be good to go. So hope you're ready. Should be fun.
You got it, Commander. This is gonna be fun.
It's ridiculous.
It's very ridiculous. I love it.
Seemingly right after Commander Atlas's announcement, there is the sound of a klaxon going off, a sort of like alarm, and as it does, your communications with your systems buzz, and as you guys like look to them, as you like maybe lift them up, you receive coordinates on Silk Road and details. Apparently, she has just robbed just stolen a prototype like engine. They have a heading on her. Your first assignment is to try to move in and see if you can close on her, because she does like to, the driver, the operator, whoever it is, does seem to like to merge with traffic until sprinting away at the last section. So if you guys, while Marv does stand out a little, it's not too crazy to see these like sort of enforcement vehicles out and about. It's a rough world out there. And so they want you guys to try to close in here.
If anything, immediate idea had to come in mind. If we know that their whole shtick is they like to get in the crowd and then dip away, quite frankly, whoever's stuck in that traffic with them, regardless of lights or whatever, is probably gonna have a hell of a time getting out. What if we're on a nearby road, we send in a different patrol car who starts the chase, they get out of there, patrol car gets stuck, but now we're actually ready to pursue.
That is interesting. And you know what?
So
There's a reason why you're the commander.
yeah, so, like this is where I would literally raise my hand and ask the question. So if like civilian vehicles are kind of in the way, is it okay if we shoot anyways? Those people get sensitive about that. I want to see if it's okay with us to do it.
Why would we shoot them? The Marv can run them over.
Yeah, we could also run them through. Yeah.
Our goal is to minimize civilian casualties. We're not trying to cause a panic. If anything, it's just going to get in our own way. The goal is to get them away from the civilians as much as possible. Can't necessarily complete it completely, but the less the better. So if we can scare them away from main traffic, that'd be preferred.
If we kind of like bump them off the road, can we do that to push the civilians away and get out of the way? These are legitimate questions I've had.
Oh, good gracious.
Hey man, military's rough.
You see he thinks about this a little bit and goes, they've stolen things, they've made people lose money, quite frankly. Until they've become a public threat for death, I'm not exactly one to endorse that just yet.
Okay, gotcha. Try not to hurt the people. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I assume
not saying
this is
I like
happening,
people, but let's not be assholes.
I assume this is happening on the drive towards like her last known location, or like where you guys think she's headed.
Yeah, this has probably been a conversation that like after the coordinates received, he still gave a quick hand motion while they were talking, saying like, "Yep, get up, get in."
So you guys are mounted up.
Let's take off.
I figured I was driving. Commander's next to me. K-Pot and Icarus are in the back.
Okay.
Talking to us through the divider.
So you guys begin moving, and you come into like this. No, you don't necessarily come into it. Maybe you're idling nearby, but you gain this view of a crowded city street. Some lanes are moving faster than others. You can see cars duck dipping and ducking. I tried combining those words. Dipping and ducking in and out, weaving in between other drivers, and you've been given some like descriptions. You've got identifiers for Silk Road, and you do see this sleek, pale vehicle, not moving too fast, not moving slow, but moving precisely and efficiently through the traffic.
I think Atlas is gonna direct Clanky to just stay off of this main road where all this traffic is, not so that we lose sight, but we can keep a good pace without having to duck and weave.
Well,
Roger, Roger.
Here's what I'm going to ask
Oh,
then.
go for it.
And this is going to require 2 checks, one made by each person.
Oh.
I need somebody to give me either a deception or stealth check to try to like help hide the vehicle, to help try to like blend in, or just like stay out of sight, or a society check to blend with the traffic, to look like just another regular armored response vehicle in the flow of stuff.
I have a
Interesting.
12 in society.
If I want, could immediately go for a plus 17 to deception.
Ooh.
God damn.
Holy shit, man.
Big number.
Now, there's a reason for this, though. And that is that.
Oh.
So something
Nice.
that the envoy has
That's so good. What the fuck?
is that in a similar way that like fighters have like a class feat that they get at like 5 or whatever it is, that like they get like temporary class feats they can choose out each day. They have the exact equivalent, but in skill feats. They are
Wow.
very skill oriented.
That is ridiculous.
That's
I
pretty
love
cool.
that. Yeah.
And just because I find it fun, we'll use that for
Okay.
deception.
All right.
So I'm gonna actually click the use button, and I know my shit.
Ooh. Would you look at that?
Roll it twice and use the higher result. Okay. Let's see it.
So, we're gonna go ahead and head to the skills here. I don't think I have a way to do that ahead of time.
No. You just gotta press it twice.
Oh wait, no, there is a thing. It's
Oh.
well, kind of. I think I would have to do that. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that. So deception. We're gonna do roll. We're gonna do keep higher. We are going to change my proficiency in it, as I mentioned. Why it doesn't allow me to just do that? Normally, there's a button that kind of has like ways to include that, but it's not included here. So I'll bump it of my own accord here. Normally this would be that, so we'll add an additional 4. All right, here goes nothing.
All right, a
Ooh.
33. That is a critical success,
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Nice.
which means Clanky,
Hi.
you are going to attempt your piloting check under the direction of your commander, driving, very sort of like off to the side, sticking to maybe these alleys and stuff, otherwise obscured and hidden from view. You're going to get a plus 3 to your piloting check.
Nice. That's plus 3, sir. Untyped. All right. 34.
34. Okay. You begin moving up and you nimbly weave forwards. However, that patrol car that you called in for assistance gets a little too antsy. And as they jump the gun, Silk Road answers in kind. Engines rev, lights gleam in the rainy streets, and the chase is on.
And that is why we were not in main traffic.
So, we will start our chase scene 2 weeks from now as we continue this adventure, this little excursion to Starfinder 2nd Edition.
Whoa.
All right. Awesome.
We will have some more exciting music to go along with it, and hopefully art for the characters.
Yippee.
So, we're looking at being back here on the 6th. Hope you can meet us. Hope you can join with us. Until then, stay safe, be good, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, stream.
Ah.